What do you know about Henry VIII?
I know that he had 6 wives, I think.
He was a ginger. He was quite large.
Or the creation of the Church of England?
He wanted a son.
He went divorced, beheaded, died.
Died, divorced, beheaded, survived. That's a classic.
What famous battle happened in 1066?
Battle of Hastings.
Battle of Hastings.
Battle of Hastings.
When did both world wars start and end?
1914 to 1918.
1939, 1945.
When did the British Empire start and end?
Couldn't tell you.
No clue.
Not sure.
Could you name one historical black British figure?
Nah.
No.
Oh yeah, no, I couldn't do that.
What methods did the British Empire use to conquer countries?
Don't know.
Not sure either. There must have been violence of some sort.
I mean, with the Irish, for example, they forbade them to speak Gaelic, Irish, and forced their ways onto the people.
That should be divide and conquer. Famines, through famines and through negotiation with the locals, the chiefs, the sultans, or whoever governs the land that the British Empire wants to colonize.
How was the British workforce recovered after World War II?
I'm not sure. I don't know.
Something about putting more women in workplaces, maybe?
I'm not sure. Not particularly well, maybe?
What company controlled the colony of India?
Not sure.
British East India.
Was it the East India Trading Company? Yes.
Don't know.
The East India Company, yeah.
Oh, the British Empire was a disgrace. It was an absolute appalling blight on British history.
It was a great empire. They colonized, I would say, a lot of countries.
Generally, it wasn't forced. It was trade. So we was doing what the rest of the world was doing.
It's led to a quite arrogant attitude in the UK that we were once this wealthy empire.
No, it's gone.
It relies largely on the exploitation of the many countries around the world.
Nope, didn't do that period of history.
We went around the world, we colonised it, took it over and made a lot of money out of it.
The British Empire is the largest, most ruthless empire ever, controlling around 25% of the global population and 56 countries. Despite this, the teaching is often inconsistent and underdone.
The ignorance of British people when it comes to empire is evident everywhere. It's evident at the highest echelons. I mean, if you read Tony Blair's memoir, he talks about when he handed back Hong Kong to the Chinese, and he says, "Oh, I was only dimly aware of the history." And it's like, the Chinese weren't dimly aware of history. They remember when they were forced to give Hong Kong to Britain because of the Opium Wars. But the shocking thing is just, how on a daily basis, how I come across people with Oxford degrees in history who don't know anything about the British Empire. That is like stunning. That's amazing that you can end up with one of the best degrees in the land and still not know almost anything about what we did. They teach certain narratives which are very familiar. Henry VIII.
There's been so much 20th century history taught for so long that people aren't aware of what went on, before 1900, much further back. It's a dreadful shame that many people don't know enough about him, the good, the bad and the ugly. It needs to be looked at carefully, but I don't like the idea of anything being mandatory.
I do think it should be mandatory, mainly because British Empire explains so much about us as a country, explains some of our wealth, explains our museums, lots of them anyway, explains our psychology, explains our politics, explains our education system. I wouldn't be here today talking to you if some people hadn't invaded India in the 16th and 17th century. It's the biggest thing we ever did as a country, and yet we still don't teach it properly.
We're to be teaching the areas that have not been studied. The role of black people in this country in the 19th and 20th century. The Windrush generation, the way in which the National Health Service developed after the Second World War, in which we invited many people from the Empire to come and work within the NHS and also within the newly nationalised transport system.
The Welsh curriculum has already changed to teach empire and slavery. I suspect the Scottish curriculum will change too. I feel that if history teachers keep banging on about it, eventually it will change. rather than through petitions. I think we need to know history. We need to know who we are, because we're going out in the world at the moment because of Brexit, trying to re-establish ourselves. And we don't remember what we did the last time we went around the world. And, this is a Conservative government. The Conservatives have always been linked with empire. As a nation and as a media, we've got a problem. We cannot handle complexity. We cannot handle the idea that opposite things can be true at once. So Winston Churchill, a great man who saved liberal democracy. At the same time, massive racist. Even by the standards of his time, his colleagues were frequently outraged. Both things are true. But you see it being played out in the media where, some people want him celebrated and they want to ignore the racism. Other people on the left want to tear him down.
I think he was a man of his time, Titanic kind of character. I think he was a great man. I don't think he was a good man at times. From 1940 to 45, he was one of the great wartime leaders, no question about that.
Our former colonies are also wanting to talk about it. They're asking us to talk about it on an almost daily basis. The Caribbean. And it's embarrassing when we have our royal family go out to Barbados and Jamaica, and it's kind of mortifying. Britain is looking increasingly isolated in that you've got all these countries facing up to their imperial past. You've got Germany doing it, actually paying reparations. You've got France returning stuff from its museums. Holland, apologising for slavery. It makes us look really out of touch with the international zeitgeist.